Newcomers in fighting games can be a hard thing to get right. Not only do you need to make a brand new moveset, but the character needs to stand out alongside the legacy characters. In this episode of Melty Balance, we'll be seeing if Noel can do exactly that and where she fits in Type Lumina's meta. First appearing in the Tsukihime remake, Noel is one of two new characters in Type Lumina. Noel is Ciel's partner, a church executor in training. She is defined by her long-range, disjointed normals, oppressive pressure game, and her one-of-a-kind, exclusive mechanic. Noel uses a halberd to fight, and boy, does she put this thing to work. 2B is a 2-hit normal that may look like a crouching poke, but this thing is a secret anti-air. It's ridiculous. 5C pulls the opponent closer on hit and block, making it a versatile tool in pressure or combos, and it causes low shield to fail. 2C is her longest ranged low option. They won't be backdashing this one anytime soon. These normals may be huge, but if you whiff them, you'll be wide open. She has one halberd normal in the air, Jump C. Its hitbox is crazy, extending up pretty high. When charged, it now pops the opponent up on hit and gains clash frames. When Noel is not stabbing you to death, she throws in some kicks for good measure. Despite its short range, 5B is an important combo tool. Also, like 5C, it causes low shields to fail. Noel takes a page out of Ciel's book with Jump B. It may look like an air-to-air, and that's because it is, but it doubles as a tricky cross-up. One boot, two uses. Noel's one and only command normal is 6C. Noel lunges forward with a flying dropkick, or is it just a regular kick because it only uses one leg? 6C wall bounces on hit, making it a cornerstone of her corner combos. It covers a lot of space, and under the right circumstances, it can be plus on block. All in all, a great advancing tool. It's always nice to have a reversal. It's even better to have the input on 2-2, shutting down cross-ups completely. What if it was also an overhead? Well, then you get Noel Somersault. The B and EX versions serve as Noel's invincible reversal, with the EX version being the fastest. The A version, on the other hand, is not invincible but can be charged, turning it into an overhead. Admittedly, it's omega slow at 29 frames, and the first hit is a mid, so yeah, pretty reactable 90% of the time. Since it's not invincible, you can cancel it on block, keeping the pressure on, guaranteed to annoy your opponent. On hit, you can even convert into a full combo. The Moonskill version is like most Moonskill reversals. No invincibility, but has a super convenient input for quick anti-airs, can be jump cancelled, and has good conversions. Just remember, if it gets shielded, you die. Noel gets a little pep in her step and bonks the opponent on the head with heavy punishment. Thanks to its range, this special can call out all kinds of movement, all the while low profiling during its startup. Heavy Punishment is one of two staples in Noel's combos. It ground bounces on hit, giving it huge combo utility. The A version is the fastest with the least range. Noel hops a considerably larger distance with the B version. Look at that range, it's at least 4 Neko arcs wide. This is the version you'll see in most combos. The second hit of the B version is an overhead, but it's pretty slow, only hitting on frame 31. It's not going to open people up 24/7, but with the distance it covers, you're bound to catch someone once in a while. The EX version is a grounded combo ender that hard knockdowns into Ogizeme options or straight damage if cancelled into arc drive. The Moonskill version is like the B version but faster with added clash frames in Moondrive. A great option to use when you're trying to out Moonskill someone or trying to catch your opponent by surprise. Boo! She's halfway across the screen. Some combo starters let you use the A and B versions one after another, and I've always found that double bonk really satisfying. Heavy Thrust is a 2-part Rekka special move and the second staple in Noel's combos. The first part of this special will restand on hit, meaning it will put an airborne opponent back on the ground. This can be cancelled into a special forward dash that can be used for a reset, although you can't attack out of the dash until it's completed. The second part of this special ends the Rekka with another overhead, but this one is more of a knowledge check. The A version is fast, useful at the end of combos. The B version is slower, but does more damage. With the right routing, it can be used almost anywhere in a combo. Heavy Thrust synergizes with Heavy Punishment's ground bounce thanks to the restand. The versatility of the restand gives Noel multiple options for her combo routing. You can opt to continue the Rekka, cancel into an EX Ender, or link into a number of her normals and specials. For example, you can link into the charged version of Noel Somersault for an air extension. The EX version is another combo ender, giving hard knockdown and wall bouncing in the corner. The Moonskill version moves Noel forward, ending in a leap attack that leaves her in the air. Like the Moonskill version of Heavy Punishment, Heavy Thrust gets a ton of clash frames and advances Noel forward. Heavy Thrust and Punishment go together like bread and butter. They form the core of Noel's combo game, so you need to get used to hearing over and over and over. Noel's final special uses a mechanic exclusive to her. It's a twist on an old favorite, the Black Key Throw. Being a member of the church, of course, Noel loves to throw black keys. Now hold your horses. Don't start throwing those keys willy-nilly like you're playing Ciel. I'm sure you've noticed this icon by now. Since Noel is an executor in training, she's on a tight budget. Only 10 keys for Noel, and then she's out of luck until next round. Noel and Ciel's key throw might look the same, but Noel's recovers 10 frames faster, and all of Noel's key throws are plus on block. As long as Noel has keys on hand, she has access to plus frames and pressure resets. The A version is slow, moves her back slightly, and is very plus. It works great in pressure. The B version is less plus, but faster and moves her back farther. Best used in neutral when you need to get a projectile out fast and some breathing room. The A and B button can be pressed again to throw another key. Each button throws the key at a slightly different angle. The keys can also be dash cancelled like Heavy Thrust, getting Noel in her opponent's face in a flash. The one fatal flaw of the key throw is that there's usually a gap when cancelling into it, leaving it susceptible to interrupts and especially everyone's favorite mechanic, the shield. The EX version is where the real fun begins. Noel throws an exploding key that will hold the opponent in place for a really long time, resulting in a hard knockdown. Noel can convert off of almost any hit thanks to its generous hit stun. This key is the king of conversions. You can easily start a combo from full screen, go for an air throw ender, cash out on damage, activate heat to recover some health, charge moon drive, run a left-right mix-up, do a safe jump, or check your phone. The sky is the limit with EX key throw. The Moonskill version throws out 2 keys that have no gap on block, are surprisingly consistent in combos, and are super fast. Moonskill key covers more space than your average key throw, but remember, you're using 20% of your available keys. Keys can also be thrown in the air using the same command. They can't be followed up like the ground version, but cover similar angles to the follow-ups. The A version is more plus than the B version, but is faster to compensate. The EX version works the same as its grounded counterpart, tons of stun on hit and plus on block. The Moonskill version is a valuable combo tool, letting Noel convert air hits into ground combos. Noel can use air keys to control space, shutting down approaches, or getting herself in. They also stop your momentum in the air completely, letting you get tricky with your air footsies. They also double as a surprisingly effective throwbait tool. The one big downside is the recovery. If the key misses or your opponent goes under you, Noel is locked in the animation until she lands, and only Moon Drive can save you. Noel's keys are an invaluable tool balanced out by their limited resource. When playing Noel, you need to learn when and when not to use keys. Without them, Noel isn't hung out to dry, but she does become a lot less scary when she doesn't have giant plus unblocked thumbtacks to throw at you. Time to Repent is Noel's arc drive. It covers a lot of ground. It almost goes full stage, but not quite. Thanks to its range, it's easy to combo into and can punish all sorts of things. I usually never talk about last arcs because they're all the same besides the startup animation, but Noel's is cool because it references this scene from the Tsukihime remake. Let's be honest, it was cooler when Ciel did it. If you want more info on Noel, go check out the Mizumi wiki. It has a ton of resources. Now that we know everything there is to know about Noel, where does she fit in Type Lumina's meta? Well, that's an easy question. Noel is one of the very few characters who have won an EVO. In 2023, Kei Jiro beat Yukia's Roa 3-2. If you've watched the Roa episode, you know how good he is, so if Noel can go toe-to-toe with one of the best, she's not doing too bad. Since her pressure is not tied to her meter, Noel always has a way to get plus frames at the start of each round. Heavy Thrust opens up a lot of different combo routes and pairs with heavy punishment like 2 peas in a pod, making her combo game extremely consistent. Her throw game is scary thanks to buttons like 5C that pull the opponent in and the black keys, especially since the air keys can be used as a throw bait. Since she gets a hard knockdown off of almost every one of her EX moves, she has a ton of opportunities and options when it comes to Okizeme. EX Black Key offers all of that, plus the option to regain resources, cash out on damage, or convert off of stray hits. Let's not forget her normals and their generous range. Noel's only real downside is that her normals are committal and easily outmaneuvered, leaving her wide open on a whiff. And of course, the fact she only has 10 keys per round. That's why I'd personally put her in A tier instead of S tier, but the difference between S and A isn't a massive gap. Noel is just a great character. She can go from a methodical footsies character 1 second to a rushdown demon the next and just keep laying the pressure on. Personally, I think Noel's black keys are what makes her so interesting in terms of balance. Plus frames are usually tied to slow moves or gated behind meter. Noel sidesteps this by having the hard limit of 10 keys per round. They're always available, but finite. If you spend meter or moondrive with keys, you get even better specials at the cost of expending 2 resources. Noel has to be smart and conserve her keys. Ciel might be able to throw keys and be good at melting, but Noel doesn't have that luxury. I'm glad the limited resources gimmick is exclusive to her. It gives Noel a distinct identity in Lumina's roster. Honestly, too many fighting games these days rely on a resource mechanic to limit a strong special. Type Lumina did it right. All things considered, Noel's moveset is a good spin on Ciel's. They both use keys in drastically different ways, and the halberd makes it so Noel plays from different ranges. They do still share some moves like the exploding key, the somersault, and the jump B, so you can tell they come from the same background but have different approaches when it comes to fighting. French Bread did a wonderful job creating Noel's kit and adapting her from the Tsukihime remake. I think she's pretty easy to pick up compared to some of the other characters we've covered. You've got a nice assortment of normals and specials with good range. All of her moon skills are amazing and each have their own niche in Noel's moveset. Invincible reversals, so many overheads it gives Arcuade a run for her money, and plus frames on demand without having to use meter. Just learn to manage the keys and don't whiff your big buttons, and you too can be the 3rd best nun in Type Lumina. Did you know that December 25th is Noel's birthday, the exact date I'm uploading this episode? She wasn't supposed to be my next episode, but I couldn't resist, and I wanted to get one more episode out before the year closed. December 25th is also Arcuade's birthday, but she already has her own episode. This entire time, I thought Noel and Ciel were church executioners, but they're actually church executors. And no one has corrected me thus far, so I guess no one cares. I know what you do care about though. What next character I should cover on the next episode of Melty Balance? Let me know. Until that time comes, thanks for watching, and bye for now.